day 3 of the Paarl World Toyota Menland Noord Rugby Toernooi. Monument seconds against Paarl boys seconds. Most games have been pretty close so far, but Paarl Gym just beat Menlo Park 42-10, and the South is now leading 8-7 in total. Thanks for joining me, Bryce.
Thanks, Brennan. Yeah, big game here for seconds of Monument and Paarl boys. It's Monument having gone down 32-7 to Paarl Gym on Friday. It's really just not the type of scores that they're used to. But this team here, you must note, they've got 3 Craven Week players, 3 Grand Coma Week players. There's a lot of provincial experience. For Paarl boys, they helped Macau relatively easily, 31-5 in their first round fixture, and they'll want to carry on with the same here.
You can't really ask for too tougher fixtures. Monument playing both teams from the Paarl. And Monument kick-off through fly half Vian Flakkie Steenkamp.
Chap there by Paarl boys. They've got a bit of space in the outer field. He spotted a gap here as the number 12 Boshoff sets the ball up nicely. Quick service by Quinn Visser. See the Paarl backline standing quite wide with their tight forwards in the backline. Quick interplay, passing through the tackle. Recycle, you can just see how they set things up there, Paarl boys. Strike runners all over the place and tight forwards as well. They're not committing to the breakdown. They don't need to. So there's plenty of options for Visser. Finds a good touch. It's exactly where Paarl boys will want to be in the first few minutes of play.
We have 2 brothers playing in the same game, Dayton and Dion de Jong, the respective hooker, who has ball in hand. His brother, nicknamed Os, on the tight head. As you can see, Monument don't have numbers on their backs, so we will try our best. Pretty sure he's the hooker. Not tidy, but he's got it away. The scrum half, really good kick from his own 22.
Taking here from Angela Orr. She's an Academy Week player, plenty of experience. And look at him go. You can see why he's a provincial rep. They'll be looking to him and all his experience in this game. So a bit of ill discipline there from Monument. Interesting to see the decision from Paarl boys. You would think, given their dominance, they'll want to kick for corner here. Looks like that's what they're doing. Etienne van Rooyen, the fullback, trying to find a good touch. He finds one about 10 meters out from play. Delmar Dekenard to set. You can just see the pace at which Paarl boys want to play. Taken at the front by Andre Bester. Sacked by Monument, but deemed to be illegal by the looks of things. Cleared out here by Paarl boys. They're finding plenty of room. Shifting the ball from left to right. It's number 12 there, gliding in, Sebastian Boshoff. It was far too easy for the liking of the Monument coaches.
Through there like a hot knife through butter. Hardly had a hand laid on him.
As we can see here from the replay, quick ball. It's number 10, Brentford Michel. Just delays the pass enough to draw a few defenders, freeing up the outside gap for Sebastian Boshoff. You can see just how quickly Paarl boys jog back to the halfway line. They mean business here. You can always tell when a team doesn't get excessive with the celebrations. It's possibly more intimidating than anything else, because it shows they don't celebrate when they score, they expect to score.
And they certainly are aiming to score a few more times in this game. The job is by no means done. Plenty of time left. Monument kick off again. And it's gone directly out. The Cardinalson from a fly half, who's just conceded points, giving the ball straight back to Paarl boys.
Yeah, and it's the perfect position for Paarl boys to attack. As you can see here, options either side for Paarl boys for the Monument defense. Not sure exactly where to go. Number 8, Cameron Honeycomb at the back of the Paarl boys scrum. Looks a very exciting play, and he looks like someone who's got quite a bit of pace. As we saw here, there's a split of 4-2 to the left for Paarl boys here. But having seen the pace of Etienne van Rooyen, the fullback, just standing on the right, it's very difficult for the Monument defense to predict where to go here. They've just got to go and point out their man, stick to him, and trust their structures. It's a big scrum there by Monument.
And they get the tight head, but it seems like it was a knock-on there after.
Shifted out here to the left. Again, it's that man, Boshoff. Lucid Pro Maria Fullion. It's a mobile character. That's an unforced error there by Paarl boys. They'll be unhappy with that. They were building so much momentum, just going through the phases. Young Quinn Visser, you can see how quickly he gets the ball out there. There's no delay.
If you're just joining us, we're only 6 minutes into the first half. We had a 40-minute lightning delay earlier today. So this match only kicked off at 22, which will push the whole schedule out by 40 minutes. Some respite for the spectators. We had some heavy sun earlier, but Monument pinged for scrumming in. It was their ball. The referee right on the spot as we see the lights make an appearance.
Yeah, right there on the spot. And to be fair to Monument, they've really been challenging Paarl boys up front. Paarl boys as a school is known as a front row factory. They produce so many quality front rows, particularly props. It's something that they really pride themselves on. So for Monument, they'll know they have to really stand up to them and possibly just getting ahead of themselves there, getting over enthusiastic, and that's the call from the ref. So what they've done, they've allowed the Econaut to feed on the Monument 22. See what Paarl boys will look to launch here. So they maul it up. It's sacked. The ref says it's good. So they bring it out. Tumoko on the back line. Uses Boshoff as a dummy runner. Inside ball to Van Rooyen. Another quick ball. And again, it's Maria Fullion, that mobile loose forward. So difficult to bring down. It's perfectly conditioned for the modern game. Quick hands. Van Rooyen's pushed back in the tackle, but they've managed to recycle. Quick ball there to Bester. Bester's difficult to bring down. And he ends up scoring the try. Well, when you have a look at the replay, you'll see how many defenders were on his back. Monument will have expected to stop that. He's a man who's not running at great pace, but he ran a good line. Dummy pass there. And then defenders just falling off him. It must be said, you would expect better from Monument, especially with so much quality in their side. As we said, provincial representatives all through the side. There's definitely been, I think, a tactic from Monument's coaching staff to mix the first and seconds, build some depth for the rest of the year. But they wouldn't have fancy finding themselves at 12-0 with under 9 minutes on the clock.
Monument, of course, lost 32-7 on Friday to Paarl Gym. And on the evidence of the first almost 9 minutes, Paarl boys are looking good.
Yeah,
conversion over.
Good kick there by Etienne van Rooyen. He kept it low, but he managed to get the conversion all the same. So now for Monument, there's really a need to strike back. Another try, make things really difficult psychologically for them for the rest of the game.
Imperative to give his forwards a chance here. That's better. Yes, Monument contest well, comes back on their side. Roberts, not a great pass, but well picked up. The ball comes out Paarl boys' side, but illegally. So this could be a chance for the Quaggas to settle things down. Looks like the Fly of Steenkamp has stepped up. And no, he's not going for poles. Kicking for the corner. Captain Corne Pennels, the lock, telling his fly half to kick to the line, and it was touch and go, almost over the in-goal area there. But I'm sure he'll say he aimed to do that. Now's the chance for Monument. De Jong. Back and forth. Solid. They set up the maul. It's looking good. Heading towards the line. And it's the try. Monument hit back. It wasn't looking good for them for the first 10 minutes. But all credit to Monument's second side. We'll try our best to work out who scored here. Obviously there are no numbers. If you're watching the game, you're welcome to tweet us at School Sport Live or leave a comment under the stream to let us know exactly who scored that try. Vlakkie Steenkamp. Some of the tees are interesting these days. Setting it on a pedestal. I remember Naspoort doing a clinic one day, saying he prefers to kick the bigger part of the ball, unlike the modern day players who kick the point of the ball. No. Kicked it left. Looked like it was shaping back, but not enough. 14-5 to Paarl boys, and we're in the 13th minute.
Yeah, Marco Botha there, the Monument kicker, looks to be number 12. I think he just seems to lose his footing there before he landed his foot and went to the left. But Monument coaches and the team will feel a lot better after that one. That's not how they want to come back after a set-piece kickoff. They're allowing Paarl boys to launch here. Big Shark Maynard taking the ball up, clearing a few players. Looked to go right, decided to go left. It's Morea Viljoen looking for a work. A lot of ball carries, not just sticking around at the set piece in the scrums. Cleared out here, hands by the tight forwards. Great running line there. It's taken up. It looked to be cleared by the scrum off, but it's been taken up by the tight forwards. Brought out here, and it's Bester. Offloads a bound. Visser gets there late, but he manages to clear. And this time, Monument managed to put big pressure on Andre Bester. Learned their lesson from his earlier score. Ball taken up by Dirkenau. Monument contests the breakdown. Seems to be a knock there.
Well done from Monument. The ball came loose, put his body in the line, dived, and that's a really good kick from the scrum half. Roberts finding plenty of field, and the charge down. But isolated, the Monument man. But he's got the necessary support. They go down the blind side. He doesn't go right, he doesn't go left, he goes straight into the man. Not securing it properly. Well done there for tidying up. It's a good tackle. Paarl boys counter ruck. Somehow still comes back to the Kwagga's way. Referee pulling one of the Paarl boys aside. Might have been at a chokehold on one of the Monument players. Looks like it was that. Great follow-up from Monas, resulting in another great kick to the corner. And I don't think they're going to try to do anything fancy. The last time they were there, it worked out. Good to see Monas fighting back. Solid, right to the back, pinpoint throw from De Jong. And here they go again. It should be over, and it is. Looks like it is the hooker, Dayton De Jong. A pinpoint pass to the man at the back, and eventually finished off what he started. No doubt about that. Referee in the right spot. Easy decision. And they're on the comeback trail. Better kick this time, and it's over. No. Okay, from our angle, it looked pretty good, but the assistant ref said no. 2 unconverted tries for Monument. Paarl boys still leading by 4, and we're in the 18th minute.
Yeah, so disappointing kicking display, but what we have seen from Monument is that when they play a territorial game, their set piece is really strong. They've got a great line out. Their kickoff receipts haven't been good. But once they get in their 22 of Paarl boys, they're lethal, and they certainly like them all. For Paarl boys, they would have discussed this, they need to get in Monument territory. They can't allow them to play in their area of the field, because we can see how strong they are in the close exchanges and in the set piece. Exactly what we've seen there.
Have eventually noticed that Monument have their numbers on their right sleeves. So someone might need to lend us some binoculars if our cameramen aren't in as close as they are there. Does help to a degree. And it's been encouraging to see our Monument we got back into the game. Those opening 10 minutes looked ominous. The next 8 have been all Monas. Roberts to Steenkamp, back to Roberts. The ball gets played by the Paarl boys. 10 coming off the hand, saying it was deliberate. Things going the Kwagga's way at the moment.
Just a momentum shift that is complete opposite to the first, I suppose, 10 minutes you would say. But again, it's a simple strategy. We've seen what a good line-out Monas have. We see how good they are and almost impossible to stop when they get their rolling ball and get their body positions right. So for Paarl boys here, they'll have a think. If they had to concede 3 tries in the same manner. It's very difficult for coaches just to keep the Paarl boys players keep their heads.
They've been really good in the line-out so far. Once again, and no, just as I said that, he found his man, but it was on his left-hand shoulder, giving Paarl boys no chance to compete. Just not what they needed. Great attacking position, handing the ball over to Boys High.
Yeah, something we've mentioned about the second team games is that a lot of these boys will be using this festival as a chance to stake a claim for first team places for the rest of the year. And sometimes there's just force matters, and when you do that, you just tend to see unforced errors. That was the case there. Really allowed Paarl boys off the hook. But let's see how Mondas come back with a scrum. It's a solid one. Sebastian Boshoff takes the ball by his ears, but he manages to do well to set the play up in midfield. Ball's taking up by Degenaar. Big pressure there. Thankfully for Paarl boys, they win the penalty because there was a bit of a hospital pass brandished there by Quinn Visser. Deemed to have come in at the side at the breakdown. Allows Paarl boys to clear their lines.
Coming straight at us here. Good kick.
Good kick. Let's see what Degenaar does here. Sets the ball up on his own 10-meter line. He hasn't had many opportunities to throw in. Got both the Paarl boys second row in the line out. Taken by Maynard off the top. Strong run here. It is by Degenaar. It's all over the field. Viljoen takes it up. Grab it through there by Michel.
Still Paarl boys' ball.
Yeah, end result, great field position for Paarl boys. So as mentioned, this is where they want to find themselves, this part of the field. They've seen how dangerous Monument were. It's often difficult to, at schoolboy level, to strategize against your opposition you hardly ever see, but it's stolen well there by Monas.
And here they go. Still in their 22. Probably look to clear their lines here, but I don't see a Flaaf standing back, and they run the ball. Oosterjong finding himself out there amongst the backs. And this time they do kick for the opposite side. Side solid by Steenkamp.
Taken up there by Ush. And again, we mentioned he's a Western Province player. He's got a lot of experience in a relatively inexperienced team. We really want to see him in action more. We want to see him take the ball up and look for work, as good wingers do. Ball's distributed quickly here amongst the half-backs. Looks to be a good turnover, but it's not. The ref might have a chat to the Monas captain here. A few cynical penalties given away. Decision to go for post here. Etienne van Rooyen lining the ball up. And given the momentum of Monument recently, the last few passages of play, perhaps a good decision just to steady the ship, calm things down, just take the wind out the sails of the Monument team.
Bester played 8th man in their first match. You can see he's very mobile for a lock. Generally more loose forward. Did of course score their second try. I think he'll have a lot of time with ball in hand today.
again, it's hit low, it's hit hard, but the 3 points are there. And what it does for Paarl boys, it opens up a converted try gap between the two teams.
Well, Paarl boys leading 17-10. It's a really good kickoff and does exactly what it's supposed to do. It gives his forwards a chance to compete. They knock the ball back. After conceding those 3 points, Monument will want to get back on the board. Steenkamp. Centre running at pace onto the ball there. They go blindside. The ball ends up over the touchline, but off a Paarl boys player. The last line out was not thrown in straight. De Jong will want to remedy that. That's better. Back to Roberts. Steenkamp standing at 12. That man's not on his feet. He's lying all over the player. Show and go. Pick and go. Nice pass back. Great continuity from Monas. The ball comes out the back and he's gone. He feeds the man. Will he get all the way? Great tackle. 5 meters short. Steenkamp feeds the man. There's space on the outside. He goes himself. He had 4 men on his outside. Went himself. Most certainly the wrong decision. Then tried to release the ball in the tackle. Monument back in possession. Can they make up for that? Kicks to the corner, Steenkamp. Finds some space. Oh, good tackle. Is the man on his feet over the ball? No, he's not. Monas not rolling away. Really sharp there. Picks the ball up. Feeds the man there. One of the tight forwards. Didn't have the pace.
So we see the penalty here for Paarl boys. It was really a get out of jail for them here. Look to clear their lines. They've been under immense pressure for the last few minutes. The ball comes straight for us. A safe touch there by Etienne van Rooyen. The fullback seems to be the man they entrust with the lengthy boots.
Heard something we shouldn't have said. Aim for us there.
Degenaar to throw in. It's just overthrown, mistimed. As Monas take the ball up. Some quick line speed from Paarl boys, possibly too quick, but the ref judges it to be fine.
Oh, he does well there. But Degenaar would have eventually bundled out. Degenaar managed to hold back the player there just enough for his teammates to get there. Looks like the captain wants a chat. I don't think he's enjoying some of the words, some of the pushing and shoving. It'll be a good time to have a chat now, calm things down. Corne Panels there for Monument. Degenaar for Boys High.
Yeah, I think the refs just had enough for the push and shove and the talking on the field. A lot of players with a lot of opinions. We see a lot of players now, particularly at the breakdown, have a lot to say to referees. He just wants them to carry on with the game. Obviously, it's a tense occasion. There's lots of pressure. It's a tight game still, but players just have to keep their heads and just stick to playing the game itself.
De Jong goes to the back again. Always a tough one. Doesn't work out.
Turnover there. Not good clean ball by Paarl boys. They look to have cleaned up. Visser clears. They're suddenly going to break. They've got numbers here. It's big man Bester in the back line. Given to his flyer. Oh, she just loses the ball while attempting the chip and chase.
Kick downfield. Paarl boys coming in from the side. The Monument bench certainly made themselves heard there. The referee responded. Now he's got a really tight angle here. Probably won't be able to make too much ground. But they will still have the line out. He tries his best and he doesn't kick it out. That would always be the risk. No other choice there for Paarl boys fullback. Kicks the ball out, ends the half. That was kind of a... They went both ways a number of times during that half. Dominated by Paarl boys for the first 10 minutes. Then Monument for the next 10. Kind of even for the third 10.
Yeah, Brendan, it's been a bit of a to and fro battle. One team dominant and then the other just in a few minutes at a time. I think it's both sets of coaches look to calming the boys down. Just playing the right areas of the field for the second half.
Backline coach Spyker Esterhuizen for Monument there, having a few words. I don't think Monument will be overly disappointed after that 14-0 deficit initially. It wasn't looking good. But all to play for in the second half. We'll see you in a few minutes.
In the market for an SUV? Experience South Africa's favorite, the Fortuner, or indulge yourself in luxury with the Prado or Land Cruiser. Navigate the urban landscape with the new Yaris or our new arrival, the Corolla Hatch. Book a test drive or service at Paarl Toyota Menden. Contact us on 012 995 1700.
There you saw the 4 tries being scored in the first half. Paarl boys have certainly been more expansive. Monument scoring both of their touchdowns by the way of the maul. So we'll see if those approaches maintain for the second half.
Yeah, Brendan, it was, like we mentioned earlier, it was difficult for any sort of team to show any sort of ascendancy. But as a neutral spectator, that's exactly what you want to see. You don't want to see one-sided battles. And I think, when you get to the second teams, then you have a co-ed school playing against the boys' school. Generally the boys' school will have more depth just in terms of the numbers, but Monument is a school that will stand back for nobody. They're so well conditioned, they're so well drilled. We see their set piece. When they're able to control the controllables. They're a dynamite team. We saw that with a few of their scrums. We certainly saw that with their lineouts. A few overthrows, but we just think if they keep it tight as a 2 or 4 jumper, then if they're in the red zone of Paarl boys, they could quite easily score a few more tries in the second half.
Well, the lights are starting to take effect here at Beera Park at Garsfontein. The Paarl World Toyota Menlyn Noord Suid Rugby Toernooi. And the second half is about to get underway. Paarl boys leading by 7. As you see at the bottom of your screen, day 2 results scrolling.
Good kickoff there by Van Rooyen.
Monument still in their 22, I think, and the referee will judge that. Flings it back. Steenkamp didn't have much space to work with, runs the ball. Looks like one of the Paarl boys players off his feet at the ruck. So lucky there for Monument to escape that. Looks like Steenkamp's recovering slightly from that hit. That might not be out.
Taken in by Van Rooyen. They switch the ball from right to left. Bit of space here, but scragged by the Monument tight forward. So they try and hold him up, turn the ball over. But it's brought out there by Fillon. Again, dummying all over the place. Loses the ball. Perhaps try to push it a bit far there. Would be better suited to go to the ground, set up the next phase. What it's done is it's gifted the ball back to Monas, who, as we've seen so far, without trying to put the mockers on them, are a very good set-piece team. Their line-out has been the reason for both of their scores so far.
Yeah, just one wayward line-out so far, but other than that, it's been solid. There again, feeds it out quickly. Dummy. Gets hit. The ball goes forward.
Turnover ball here for Paarl boys. Look for quick ball. Looks like the replacement scrum half is on. Obenheimer. Driven back in the tackle is Carstens. It's another good tackle. Aggressive defense there by Monas. And Paarl boys really just need to consolidate here. They've gone back a good 20-25 meters. Got numbers here. It's a great offload and pickup by the tight forwards, and again shifting the ball out to Osh. She's been dragged and scragged by his opposite man. Diakonar takes it up. Thought about passing. 2 minds there, but he does well to set. Robenheimer out to Van Rooyen. Drop ball, it's judged not to be forward. Paarl boys with some real momentum here. They've got Manas on the back foot. Quick collision there in midfield. Robenheimer takes the ball up to Mangard. He's always looking for work, always looking to carry. judge to go forward, but he was playing advantage for the penalty, was the referee.
We hear the Monas bench still complaining about what they thought was a knock-on the far side there. From this angle, I think they might have been right. He was moving forward, ball came off his hands. Hard to see how they went backwards. But the referee seems like he saw it and he played on, so he is of course.
So we see the replay of the big defense from Monas, taken in by Carstens. But with a standing start and running upright, it was never going to be a great result after that. More big hits in the backfield. Paarl boys just get a bit loose there, and that's possibly the reason why they decided to slow things down, and rather than kick for corner, and trust Etienne van Rooyen to put another 3 points on the board.
Well, so far he's been the difference. Solid with the boot, as he is once again. Monument scoring 2 tries, they've missed both conversions. 19-10 to Hoër Jongenskool.
One thing we see from Etienne van Rooyen is that he strikes the ball well. He certainly got the distance, and I think anything, at the very least, from the 10-meter line of Monas, there's a penalty there. They look to take the points and just drive the game slowly but surely out of the reach of Monas. It's now a 2-score game, the difference between them. And if Paarl boys can manage to exert that sort of pressure, they'll take any free opportunity they can. Again, it's a loose ball. It's a little wide pass thrown, but it goes to a hand. It works out for them. But again, he's scragged. Seeing the smaller outside backs of Paarl boys getting caught by Monas' tight forwards. Box kick there.
Towering kick. Safely taken. Beats 1, beats 2, beats 3. Just grabbed by the ankle there. Steenkamp. Oh, the ball goes behind the man. Not great for Monument. They had 3 men on the outside there. And a loose pass forced them backwards. Pennells picks up from the ruck. We got a Paarl boys player coming through the ruck there, playing the scrum off illegally. And he gets a yellow card.
Looks to be Marais Viljoen who's been carded. It's really unfortunate. He's had a great game so far. It's a mobile loose-head prop. He's looked for a lot of work in the tight exchanges, but also out wide, and able to run off the shoulder of some of the inside backs. He's done that really well. Just lost his head there for a moment. And for Monas now, being behind 10 points, this is the time, these next 10 minutes, when they really need to strike and take advantage of being one man to the good.
Apologies, earlier I added 2 points for the penalty. It is 20-10. Another solid line out for Monument. Will they drive this up? The ball drops from the clutches. Unforced error. They just hand the ball back. They have that one-man advantage for the next 10 minutes. And they really need to score within that time. Otherwise, it will be a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, I think you can put that down to Big Jacques Maynard in the second row. He seems to be the man to disrupt there. And just release the pressure slightly for Paarl boys. We saw Paarl boys there. Line speed has been really good. Put Monument under a lot of pressure. It'll be interesting to see the defensive strategy of Monas. Obviously required to stand on the halfway line 10 meters from the scrum. But do they drift and wait for Paarl boys to run at them? Or do they look to come out quickly, put as much pressure as possible? as Robbenheimer puts the ball in. It's a huge scrum by Monas. He gets the ball out just in time. After a loose pass there by Van Rooyen, who was standing in first receiver. They managed to maintain possession. Ball out to the replacement, who's of course required because the loose head prop is off the field with the yellow. And for the scrums to remain, we need to get a replacement in the front row there. Looks like the ball has been lost by Paarl Boys. It seems the refs that judged it
Interesting.
to have gone forward off a monument hand.
As you can imagine, Monument bench not happy with that. My initial reaction was forward of Paarl Boys. You think for it to go forward of one team, it has to go forward of the other first.
Yeah, it's quite difficult for the referee there. Both teams, you notice, they're not just trying to bring a player down, they're trying to scrag, they're kind of trying to rip the ball out in the tackle. It's going all every which direction. But puts in here for Paarl Boys, they want a better display than their last scrum. Solid this time. Cleared well. It's rolling. He finds a good touch in the Monas 22.
Great kick there.
This is the position that they want to play in. This is where Paarl Boys want to be. Just, if nothing else, just to wind down the clock while they've got a player in the sin bin.
Van Rooyen did play fly off in their first match. Looks like he's settled in there for the second half. I think Michel might have moved back to fullback. Back and forth. Another good line out. And they're going to run it from out of their 22.
Turnover ball here by Paarl Boys. Coming to the right. It's Van Rooyen who takes it up. Brought down, quickly recycled by Robbenheimer. Strong ball carry there. By Degenard, I think it is. Quick hands out to number 22, Rikus Jonk, who's come across to the left-hand side of the field. Quick interchange between the tight forwards, but they're being held up. That's Maingard who's being held up. But they're managing to go forward slowly but surely. Brought down now by Monas. The ref put the whistle to his mouth, but he decided against it because Paarl Boys still have the ball and still have some momentum. Is it turned over though?
Hard to see. Monument player might have his hands on it. I think Paarl Boys were complaining about someone lying on the wrong side of the ruck. But it looks like the Quachas have wrestled it back. And the box kick. Not out.
Taken up here by the Paarl Boys outside backs. That's the kind of pace you want to see. Ball moved out. Just flung out the back of the hand, perhaps too hard. Drop by Boschop. He regathers, but it's judged to have gone forward. It's just a bit of push and shove here. You see the replay. Just looking to see what he was going to do next there. The winger, Osh. The ball just loose, bobbing around players' heads. I think Paarl Boys, given the scoreline, given where they are on the field, be better suited to not look for the 50-50 speculators. Looks like number 13 there, LaRue Boyson's under quite a bit of pain. Seems to have hurt his fingers. The side that left the bench slightly queasy, so it seems to be quite a serious injury. You can see the medics taking him off, taking him.
I think it could be a shoulder.
Yeah, straight to the facilities, yeah.
During that time, Monument have made 3 changes. We'll try our best to work out who those guys are. One of them is definitely at lock with the try scorer from earlier coming off the field. You might find that some of the guys coming off at this point are being saved for tomorrow's first team match.
Noord, the 9. 22 is Robenheimer, and 20 is Rikus Jong.
So we've been notified that some of the Paarl boys' reserves jerseys don't correspond with the team list we've got, but we'll do the best we can.
Kick downfield from Steenkamp. Oh, good follow-up. Osh is taken down. Monument looked like they had stolen the ball, but the referee is saying that they did not release the player.
Yeah, frustration, yeah, from the Mona's bench. Sigh of relief for Paarl boys. They brought on a few substitutes themselves. We're heading to the last quarter of the game here. They'll look to drive the ball deep into Mona's territory. Finds the 22. It's not a bad result. You'd fancy them to have a ball off the top here from their line out. They've got some fresh legs in the back line. Yekana throws. It looks like they're going to go for the maul. Static for now. But they look to maneuver, and they've got the drive going. They've got the legs pumping. It's brought down. By the looks of it, it's done legally so. Good work by Monas. Turnover ball.
$13.5 minutes to go. Monument 10 points behind. What can they conjure up from their own 22? No need to panic at this stage. There is still time. Will they run it? Will Steenkamp use his boot? Put them hopefully down around the halfway line. Always tough decisions to make at this point of the game, when you clearly need to score twice, at least 2 tries to win the game. Do you run the ball from everywhere? Do you play position and then throw caution to the wind in the last 5 minutes? This is where a good captain comes into his own. Paarl boys, solid scrum, and they do run it. Make a little bit of ground, but still deep in their own 22. They must. They've got plenty of men on the left-hand side here. Not a great pass. The ball has gone forward off the hand. Something I've noticed, the players tend to throw those skip passes, and when the ball always moves quicker than the man. They could have just put that through the hands and they would have eventually worked the overlap, but trying to throw the miracle ball generally doesn't work out.
Exactly. They had the numbers and they had the advantage of the numbers, and they just negated that by skipping all their men. Just gave Paarl Boys an opportunity to drift across in defence. And that's where the error came, from the pressure exerted from Paarl Boys. They've got a strong rush defence. They're very well coached and well drilled. So it's the put into the scrum here. They're being driven back at a rate of knots. Although they do get the short arm. Quick tap. Ball spread. As they head into the left-hand corner, there's a number of strike runners. That's for Leon back on the field now, looking to redeem himself. They go to the left, to the short side. Not much room to play with. Hope McCar's over the ball there. They'll look for the turnover. Judged to be a knock on there. So for Monash now, they've got a decision to make. We mentioned them running it from their own line. They've still got a bit of time. They've still got a good 10 minutes to play with. And with players these days being so well drilled and so well skilled at the breakdown, you just don't want to be caught in possession in a dangerous zone in the field. You've really got to play, get yourself out of danger and play in the opposition half.
Exactly. They'd probably be playing down this side of the field now if they'd simply kick that downfield. Over eagerness not working for them, especially with the skip pass. But as you get closer to full time, the pressure's intensified. Penalty goes Boys High's way.
Quick tap from Boys High. It's interesting that they didn't choose to go for the line out there, but they embrace that ball in hand approach. They like pick and goes. They like the carries. It's recycled there. It's out wide through Van Rooyen. He's impressive with his boot in the first half. He's been shifted from fullback to fly half. Gets his hand on the ball more, able to dictate play. And it's Maingard who takes the ball up again. Is he judged to have scored there? I think he has. So it's the other lock, Maynard, who joins his partner in the second row, Andre Besta, on the team sheet. So you see the replay here. Just cool heads, pick and goes, one-off runners. There's always options for the Paarl Boys scrum half. There's always players looking. Looks like he just touched the whitewash there. Managed in one motion to roll it over onto the try line. And now you feel with this sort of deficit, games possibly run away from Monash.
There were 4 men on him there. He showed immense strength. I'm sure the captain's giving them a word behind the poles. Not really acceptable that 3 or 4 guys are taken over the line by one individual.
So the ball hits the post. Uncharacteristic miss from Etienne van Rooyen. So it's a 15-point deficit. The first thing that they will be saying under the posts, Monash, is that our kick-off receipts haven't been great, but they really managed to challenge on their own ball. They'll really need to do that here. They need to try and win the ball back as soon as possible and score almost immediately.
Well, it definitely is now. Now or never. That's a good kickoff. Hammers the man.
Big hit there. Pressure from Monash. You can see they're going to bring physicality to the game. Paarl Boys quite happy to run from their own 22. You can see they're playing with confidence now. They were playing a more conservative game in the first half. But you live by the sword, you die by it. They've lost the ball here. Turnover ball. Monash now have it.
Monash go blindside. Heading towards the touchline. Back in field. Rumbles it up. Needs support. Slow ball. Goes blindside again. Tackled out. Not enough space there. and possibly not the right decision. He had plenty of men waiting in open field for him. Once again, the over-eagerness of being 25-10 down.
Diegenaar feeds it. It's a bit of miscommunication there. Something the refs picked up. Looks like he's carded Jacques Maingard. One would think for possibly bringing a man down in the line-out. It's the only reason you get a yellow.
And Monas will have an extra man for the remainder of the match. His knees are on the ground. Goes blindside again. Very little space to work with, but he does extremely well. Steps off his right, comes back inside, 10 meters short. Steenkamp. Looks like it's Pennels, the captain. Lays it back nicely. Uren. Steen. Unfortunately there, the ball going forward. Clutching at it. Disappointing for Monas. They were building up a head of steam there. With that extra man available, they really needed to score with 5 minutes to play.
Yeah, they didn't. You've just got to give a pat on the back for Paarl Boys' rash defense there. I think Monas was starting to get comfortable working the blind side, then drawing the defenders in that direction, then quickly spinning it out to the left. There were a few mismatches there. They had a few gaps, but just the line speed and discipline and cohesion of the Paarl Boys defense just got them out of jail there. Got in the faces of Monas, and hence the turnover here. So we head into the final 5 minutes of the game. Barely 4 minutes to play, in fact. You would think that Paarl Boys would want to clear their lines, particularly with the boots of Etienne van Rooyen at first receiver. But the way the back line's lining up, wouldn't be surprised if they've got something planned here. Scrum shifting to the left. They are going to run it. There's a set move. And it's that strong runner, Sebastian Boshoff. Punches well above his weight. Not the biggest centre, but he's very strong in contact. As they lose the ball forward, turn of a ball.
Monument. This is their last opportunity. I think it's Flav Steenkamp with ball in hand. Goes blindside again. The replacement scrum off favouring that side of the field. And unfortunately the man with ball in hand did not release it. Rolled a couple of times. What a penalty to give away at this stage of the match, at that side of the field. That's an absolute killer for Monas and their coaches.
Yeah, you would think that's their last chance there. If they've got a converted try, brought the scores to 25-17 with a couple of minutes to play. They had an inkling of a chance of causing a massive upset and building a comeback. But with Paarl Boys able to secure possession off this line out, you would think that'll be all she wrote. Straight off the top, quick ball, big line speed from Monas, but the defensive line is a bit jagged, left a few gaps. Let's grab it in, grab it through awkwardly by Van Rooyen.
Oh, that's a good run there. Beat 2 or 3 players up to the 10-meter line. The ball's taking ages to emerge. Great counter ruck from Paarl Boys. Box kick.
It's a strong chase here. 2 men on. Oh, what a great turn.
Beautiful turn of pace there. A turn and pace. Ball comes Monas' way. Let's see what they can do. They need to go 50 meters. Possible hard tackle advantage to the Quaggas. Ball hits the turf. Steenkamp kicks it into the man. knowing there was advantage, they're going to need to make a decision quickly here. Looks like they're going to tap and go. They do exactly that. Good offload. They're surging upfield, up to the 22. Great pass, great catch. Oh, pass from off the deck. Where's this Mona's side been all game? Once again, offload to the replacement scrum. He finds the man out to the left, and he's over. He avoids the tackler, and he scores the try. What a wonderful pass from the scrum half. As you can see, great continuity from off the deck there. He flings it infield initially. And then a long pass to the man on the outside who evaded the tackler. Beautiful try for Monument. 25-17. This should be the last move of the game. Unfortunately, they're 8 points behind. But at least they showed what they're capable of. Can they score a last one? A huge hit there. The ball bounces, but Steenkamp is tackled out of field. Offside. They'll go back for the penalty. They can, of course, kick it out. But the fact of the matter is, they're 8 points behind. The hoot has sounded. But can they finish this game off in style? The try they scored a minute ago had plenty of panache involved. Precision, power. Penalized for the shoulder. The assistant referee just letting the ref know about that. That's a long kick. Is it out? That is as good a kick as you can get. The line out will be on the 5-meter line. Monas can't win this game, but they're pumped. They'd like to finish off the match with these two tries to show everybody watching and the spectators here exactly what they're capable of. Paarl boys will want to keep them out as well for their pride. Good take, Captain Pennells has been really good in the lineouts. They set up the maul. They scored 2 earlier in the first half. They're close to the line, and the referee says it's a turnover, and that should be that. That is the game. So close there, but the maul went down to the ground. Turnover. 25-17. Paarl boys take this one.
Yeah, and perhaps frustrating for Monas is that they played some fantastic rugby in the last few minutes of the game, and if they just exhibited the same sort of urgency throughout, they most certainly would have won this one. And Paarl boys be relieved to come away with the victory here. They fought hard. Certainly it wasn't one-sided. As we said, it was to and fro, but Paarl boys coming away with the victory.
Just what we like to see, the players shaking hands after the match. Paarl boys winning it for the South. The South go ahead 10-8 in the overall standings. That's it from me for today. Bryce will stay in his seat, and he'll be joined by Fraser Parker for Affis against Outeniqua. So the team from Pretoria against the boys from George. Another enthralling match here at Paarl World Toyota Menlyn Noord Toernooi comes to an end. The beautiful Pretoria night sky. Cheers for now.